I have so many coaching sessions with people who say, Dr. Zeb, what's the one thing I can do to almost ensure my life turns out well, that I have a great life? And as unconventional as this answer may sound, there is one thing you can do right now that can guarantee your life turns out amazing. Let's talk about it. What's up, everybody? This is Dr. Zeb, your everyday life coach, and I provide you with practical tools for daily living so you can transform tomorrow today. I apologize, my eye may look a little red. There's nothing wrong, I promise. I have not had a lot of sleep here lately, a lot of work to do, a lot of projects that I'm working on, great stuff. And I'm exhausted. I won't lie to you, I'm exhausted, but I'm really trying to keep up with providing you one video per week. And last week was Thanksgiving week. And launched a really great video this week on my routine, and I want to continue this pattern regardless, rain, sleet, shine, or snow. We had some sleep this morning, but anyway, I want to continue that process as best as possible. Also want to say to you, I've been getting a lot of requests over the last couple of weeks, and it was really confirmed this morning in an exchange that I had with a longtime friend of mine I hadn't talked to in a very long time, several years in fact, and she was sharing some things that really confirmed. I've been getting a lot of requests about restarting my podcast called The Green Room, but a lot of requests along the lines of relationships. And it's crazy, you know, I haven't always had great luck in that space, but sometimes experience is the greatest teacher for us. And I think I'm gonna start that back up. I've got a couple of things lined up to kick it off, and I've had some people reach out that have agreed to moderate the chat area because we want to do these live. It's the format that's always worked well for me. And if you've seen any of my episodes, you can just look at the channel. You'll see a couple of episodes and some talks we've done on this. And but definitely excited, I think, to get back in the ring and talk more and get more advice, wisdom, whatever you want to call it, on relationships. I think it will help a lot of people. And so be on the lookout for some information about that really soon. Anyway, let's get to the content at hand, or the topic at hand. If you want to have a great life, there's one thing you can do that will guarantee it, and it's this. You ready? Be uncomfortable. That's simple. Be uncomfortable. If you are willing to be uncomfortable, I can almost guarantee you a great life. Now, this is challenging and problematic for a lot of people for a variety of reasons, but I want to give you three main reasons why discomfort is so challenging for people in life and in general, right? When we think about something being uncomfortable or bringing us discomfort, we tend to have very negative thoughts towards it. But you have to understand discomfort in a much larger scope to really understand the benefits of discomfort. And so I want to talk about those three things, right? So there are three things that typically discomfort does. Number one, or being uncomfortable, whatever way you want to word it. Number one, it does this. It creates uncertainty, right? Discomfort creates uncertainty. And anytime we are in situations in our lives where we're not certain, that means we're in a situation that we need to understand. And anytime you're in a position where you feel like you have to understand all the time, you are limiting your potential based on your understanding. One of my favorite Bible verses says, don't conform to the things of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And it's a very powerful verse because it suggests to us that when our mind is renewed, our potential is expanded. All right? When our mind is renewed, our potential is expanded. And the reason it becomes expanded is because we don't limit our abilities in life, our potential in life, our goals in life, our plans in life, our desires in life, based on what tends to be very limited understanding, right? You only know what you know, right? All of us are given, at birth. And as we continue to grow and develop, because you can learn things as you go, but we're all granted by the Creator at birth a dose of understanding, a dose of knowledge. You're going to be able to have this much over your lifetime. These are things we cannot control, though we can influence them, I believe, as you learn more as you live, right? We should all be lifelong learners. So you should always be learning things, right? Gaining new skills, trying new things, right? But we all have a dose of knowledge that we're all given. But there is this great need in general for people today to have to understand everything. And the challenge with being uncomfortable is that sometimes you will find yourself in positions where you don't know everything. And you have to trust that you are at the right place, in the right season, in the right position, in the right circumstance, and that ultimately everything works out for you. One of the affirmations, as you know, I'm an avid journaler, believe in the power of affirmations and watching the words that we say and speak over our lives and over the lives of people. One of the affirmations that I say on a daily basis, every single day, I can't think of the last day I haven't said this, is things are always working out for me. It's a very powerful, simple affirmation. Sometimes you can go through things in life and you can begin to feel uncertain, right? How is this going to work out? Or you can feel uncertain because you don't understand where you are. You don't understand things that are happening. You don't understand things that are going on around you. But the easy way to counter that is by just simply reminding yourself, things are always working out for me. Or a better one than that, things always seem to work out for me. They always tend to work out for me, right? But reminding ourselves of that is really important when we go through uncomfortable or uncertain seasons in our lives. But I've also discovered this. It has been some of the most uncertain seasons of my life that, of course, made me uncomfortable, but they were uncertain, that I didn't understand things that were going on. I didn't understand things that were happening. Some of those seasons, most of those seasons, if not all of those seasons, all turned out to provide to me some of the most valuable experience and even blessings that I've ever experienced in my life, right? So let's not discount the beauty that is sometimes locked or hidden in uncertainty, right? You don't have to know everything to live a good life. You don't have to know how tomorrow's going to work out in order to attack tomorrow and have a good tomorrow. You don't have to know how your day is going to work out in order to attack your day and have a great day. Right? So this whole idea, and this is especially important for people who are avid planners, right? I used to be an avid planner. I'm still somewhat of a planner without a doubt. One of the things I've worked on is learning how to be a little bit more spontaneous too. And it's a great thing. It's a great balance to have, to be a planner but spontaneous, right? To be organized and structured but willing to go off the cuff. It's a wonderful thing to have. And attractive too. But planners really struggle with this because planners have to understand. They have to be certain about the next move, what's next, what's happening next. So this can be very uncomfortable waters, but I'm here to tell you some of the greatest miracles and blessings of my life have been birthed out of spaces that I didn't understand, out of situations that I did not understand, out of circumstances that were uncertain to me, that were seemingly up in the air. I believe that uncertainty, the lack of understanding, is the birthplace of miracles. I don't ever want you to forget that. It is uncertainty. It is the lack of understanding that oftentimes is the birthplace of miracles. And so often, it is in those spaces that you don't understand that really miraculous things happen in your life, all right? So discomfort for many people creates uncertainty. Here's the second thing that it creates. It makes your life feel uncontrollable, right? Makes your life feel uncontrollable. I hope that's a word. I think uncontrollable is a word. I should know that. I think it's a word. We're going to go with it. All right, first take, last take. It makes your life sometimes feel uncontrollable. Why is this a problem for many people? Well, in the context of not being comfortable, this is a problem for many people who are control freaks, right? People who like to be in control or feel like they have to be in control in order to be okay. And I can talk about this for hours, literally, because that's something that I really had to work on. That's an area of my life I really had to work on. I was one of those people where if I couldn't control it, I didn't want any parts of it. Right? If I couldn't put my hands on it and maneuver it or deal with it, I didn't want any parts of it. Remember, the word manipulation, the root word of that is mani, the same word that we know that is a part of the word manicure or hand, mani, meaning hand. And so anybody who manipulates a thing is a person who has to have their hands on it. And typically, the more you have to have your hands on it, the more of a manipulator or controller you are. You've got to be very careful with needing to be in control in your life, in every area of your life. Let me tell you something. One of the powerful things about meditation and being grounded and trusting God or whatever source you claim to trust, I know God, it's God for me. One of the powerful things about trusting is understanding that when you really truly trust in something or believe in something, know something's going to work for you, know your plans are going to shake out for you, know your goals are going to happen for you, you have no desire to control it. I knew I was growing from a personal development standpoint when I no longer felt the sense to try to control a situation. When I finally got to a place where I said, you know what, it's out of my hands. It should have never been in my hands in the first place. But it's really out of my hands. I'm not trying to control this. I know what I like. I know what I desire. I know what I want. I know what my goals are. I know what my plans are. I know what my dreams are. I know what my aspirations are. And I've set that intention. I believe for it. I pray for it. I've even affirmed for it. I'm good. I'm just going to take my hands off and just let things happen the way they should. When you get to that place, you become unstoppable, because when you don't have to control a situation, what tends to happen is the situation works for you. When you don't feel the need to have to control or manipulate a situation, what tends to happen is life tends to bring to you exactly what it is that you're desiring, right? You got to trust the current, that is the water, that is life, to bring to you that which you desire, that which you plan, that which represents your goals, without feeling the need to have to control it or manipulate it, right? And just because you like to control things doesn't mean you're a manipulator, right? I don't want to go that far to the extreme. But people who tend to be heavily in need of being in control tend to be manipulators, right? I got a video about manipulation that I've done, and I'll link it right here in this video in the description so you can check it out. But again, people get very uncomfortable, find themselves in discomfort when they feel like they have to be in control. And I'm here to tell you, some of the most beautiful things that have ever happened to me, that happened in my life, happened beyond my control. I didn't see it coming, didn't see how it was going to come together, didn't see how it was going to work out, and just completely out of the blue, I just took my hands off of it, I hoped for it, I prayed for it, and let it go, and it just happened for me. And that's how it should work, right? So, if you want to be uncomfortable, you've got to be okay being in discomfort. And one of those areas of discomfort is not being able to control a situation. I'm here to tell you, you don't have to control everything in order to be happy. Here's the third thing, right? Real quick video today. Third thing is this. So discomfort can oftentimes make you uncertain. It can make you feel like you have no control. And the third thing is this. Discomfort is painful. And this is a big one. Discomfort is painful. And this generation is so funny. You know, if you've done any research or know anything about me, my PhD research is on generational studies. And so the millennials, Gen Zs, all of that stuff, boomers, in the context of leadership, social identity, stuff like that. And so I understand generations and how they think and how they operate in different generations. But this generation that we're living in now is a very unique one. No disrespect, millennials, Gen Zs, and all that stuff. But a very unique one, right? I'm not far removed in age from those generations at all. But I will say this to you. This is a time that we live in where we think really nothing is supposed to hurt, right? We just don't want to be hurt. People don't want to be hurt under any circumstance. People will make some of the most rash decisions in the name of avoiding hurt, right? In the name of avoiding pain. I laugh thinking about my son. My son, when a few years ago, when he used to get shots at the doctor, have to get his normal yearly checkup, I would literally have to hold his arms down. I would have to hold him down. When they were getting tested for COVID, when COVID was really hot, I had to get tested for COVID. He didn't like that swab of his nose, which I can't say I blame him. But I had to hold him down like he was squirming, like almost trying to fight. It was crazy. Painful? Yes. Necessary? Yes. Here's what I discovered. Everything in your life is not supposed to feel good. And oftentimes, those things that don't feel really good tend to work out for your good. Those things that don't feel really good tend to work out for your good, and not just for your good, in your favor, right? According to the way you plan. In other words, a little bit of pain isn't going to hurt you. This is why people quit careers, quit relationships. It's crazy. Career gets hard, job gets hard, job causes a little bit of stress, causes a little bit of angst, anxiety. What do? You're already on Indeed, LinkedIn. You're looking for something else. Right? Because you don't want to deal with the anxiety, the pain of the current situation. So you think the best way out is to get something that's easier. But the reality is your ceiling is limited to your threshold of pain. And the greater your threshold for pain, the greater your ceiling for opportunity. This is so powerful. The greater your threshold for pain, the greater your ceiling for opportunity. In other words, the more you can take, the more you can achieve. The more you can take, the more you can gain. I've discovered this even in the context of relationships. Again, get a lot of calls, a lot of coaching calls about relationship. You can see information in the description about how to book some time if you'd like to do that. But I have a lot of conversations with people along the lines of relationships, a lot of relationship counseling, a lot of marriage counseling, pre-marriage counseling that I still do, that I'm still requested to do. And one of the things I try to stress to people, and that's this: a relationship that's valuable is going to be a painful one. You can believe that. You're going to endure some pain. There's going to be some hard times, some hard moments, maybe even some hard seasons. Make no mistake about it. But if the relationship you're in is a valuable one with someone who is of great value, understand that the phrase "no pain, no gain" is still true. Anything worth having oftentimes comes with a little bit of strife, right? This whole idea that everything that we have in our lives is supposed to be easy, and hey, some people even put God in this. Well, the blessings of the Lord make rich, add no sorrow. If God blessed me with it, why does it hurt? If he blessed me, it's not supposed to hurt at all. That's not what that verse says, because that verse does not refer to pain at all. We have to understand that that verse refers to our attitude concerning what we have, because the reality is, shots hurt me. Like, I'm no different than my son. I don't like getting a shot, flu shot, whatever shot. It's no fun to get a shot. So I take the same shot that my kids take. The difference, though, is I have a different attitude towards the shot because I understand that the shot has some medicine in it that's going to keep me well. A kid sees a shot and a needle, and all they think about is the pain. And so I'm suggesting to you that as you grow and as you mature and as you evolve emotionally, as you evolve spiritually, as you become more grounded and solid in who you are and what you believe in, what you know you deserve and what you can have, you don't look at situations that bring you pain as necessarily bad. In fact, you, much like a flu shot, understand that there are some situations that's got a little bit of pain injected in the needle that might hurt for a season, but in the long run, it's going to make you feel better. And so people run from being uncomfortable because of the pain oftentimes that's associated with the discomfort. But not all pain is bad for you. Now, I'm not talking about toxic pain. I'm not talking about if you're working a job where your supervisor is abusing you, that's toxic pain. I'm not talking about if you're in a relationship with a horrible person that really you have no business being in a relationship with, and you staying in it anyway because it's comfortable. I'm not talking about that. That's toxic pain. That's a bad choice. I'm talking about valuable people, valuable careers, valuable opportunities, valuable relationships with solid people who are great people with great hearts, pure intentions. And there's some pain and strife that comes with that. It's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. If you can endure seasons of pain in solid situations, you're going to reap harvest of beautiful blessings. You've got to be willing to take a little bit of pain. And so if you want to win in your life, I want to encourage you to be willing to be uncertain. I want to encourage you to sometimes be willing to go through situations that you can't control. And I want you to think about being willing to endure a little bit of pain. Because if you can do those three things, and it's involving solid situations, I'm here to tell you, you're going to live an incredible life. Because I know of nobody who has achieved great things or is achieving great things or winning in big spaces of their lives, whether it's personally, in relationships, whether it's professionally in career, whether it's financially in money. I don't know anybody who's winning in a big way who has not had to endure a season of uncertainty, not being in control, or pain. And what I've tended to discover is the greater those things, the greater the achievement. In other words, the greater the discomfort, the greater the uncertainty, the greater the lack of the ability to control your circumstances, the greater the pain that you have to experience, the greater the outcome is when you come out on the other side. And so you got to make a choice. Are you going to be comfortable and average? Or are you willing to be uncomfortable and be great? And I want to challenge you to be uncomfortable and be great so that you can live the life that you intend to live. Listen, I hope this video helped you. If it did, make sure you like it, share the video. And remember, you've got 2 jobs. 1, I want you to be better today than what you were yesterday. And 2, don't forget what I told you. Now go after it.